All right, let's come in to a nice tall seat, finding your feet firmly planted on the mat. And of course, because I'm recording, my dogs want to come in. No, out you go. Out you go. And this morning, feet firmly planted on the floor. We're going to start to sway first from left to right in the chair, just finding our sit bones. A little movement, and then becoming still, grounding into the sit bones and start to lengthen up through the spine. Let the shoulders come down the back. Take that chin and tuck it in a little bit so you lengthen the back of the head. Hands resting on the thighs in whatever form feels right for you today. Turn down or up. Let's go ahead and close the eyes or soften the gaze. And just being with the breath. Starting to slow down. And taking that breath. Let's fill up into the belly and then slowly let it go. Drawing that breath in and then letting it go. Begin to shift the awareness inward, moving everything else be set aside as you become present for your practice this morning. Nice slow, deep inhales and exhales. Breathing in to that lower belly and letting it go. And take a moment to bring awareness to the body and how the body's feeling. Noticing if there's any tension or tightness, or if you're feeling fine, everything's loose, you have some space. But wherever you're at, however you're feeling, you're not judging, not being harsh, just noticing. Let's find ourselves coming to an intention this morning. Setting an intention that resonates with you. It's something that you want to bring into your day or into your practice. It might be just a word or short sentence. Whatever it is, hold it for a moment in your mind's eye. Then with your next exhale, release it out to the universe. Like a pebble being thrown into a pond. Let it ripple out so it touches and connects to the universe. Begin to layer on your ujjayi breath, that soft constriction in the back of the throat, making that soft oceanic sound. And then on your next exhale, let's start to let the chin drop down towards the center of the chest, letting the head come down, Shoulders start to soften. And as you drop that head down, feel the top of the shoulders rounding maybe a little bit. Take that chin and gently sway it from side to side. And then bringing it back to the center. Slowly roll the right ear over the right shoulder and lift the heart a little bit. You're finding that length in the spine again. So you're giving some space to the left side of the neck. Breathe. And taking that left arm, start to stretch it out beside you. Fingers start to spread wide. And then lift the arm away from you, maybe about 10 inches, not very far. And just keep those fingers spread wide. And start to circle that left arm in one direction. And then pause and take it in the other direction. And let's pause and bring that left hand back to the thigh. Just breathe. Chin starts to turn down towards the collarbone. Taking that breath and breathing into the left side of the neck, let it gently extend it out. And as you exhale, release it. And dropping the chin down towards the center of the chest. Taking left ear over left shoulder, finding yourself lengthening up a little bit. That space comes back into the back body. Shoulders are soft. And we take the right arm now out to the side. Spread those fingers wide. And then start to circle the right arm in one direction. And then pause, take it in the other direction. And pause, right hand returns back to the thigh, and then the chin starts to come over to the left collarbone. Send the breath over to the right side of the neck. Let it balloon out with the inhale and release on the exhale. And take that chin and drop it down, and let's do some half neck rolls. So you're rolling the chin all the way across the chest. Let the ear come over the right shoulder, lift the chin up a little bit, and then drop it down and roll it over to the other side. So you're going at a pace that feels right for you, taking your time. Start to open up the neck. Just going gently back and forth. And if you find you're tight, and some area is giving you a little twinge or something, just pause there and hold there and give it time to work out. And one more. Over to the other side. And then let the chin come back down to the center of the chest. Head becomes heavy and you soften through the top of the shoulders. Soften everything. And then with the inhale, lift the head up and let's open the eyes. Take those shoulders and roll them back. Some nice soft shoulder loops. Beautiful. And then taking the arms by our sides, we've got the palms turned up. We're going to inhale those arms up, take the gaze up too, so chin lifts, palms come together. You float those hands down to the heart center, and you're looking down at the top of those fingertips. Inhale, lengthen up with the arms, let them open out to the sides, chin drops to chest, fingers reach for the earth, palms turn back up. We bring them back together and down to the heart center. Let's do that one more time. Taking it up, nice and big, and then taking it out. And then when you come up halfway with the arms. So you've got those palms turned out and your heart is lifted. Bring fingertips up to the shoulders. So let's start to roll those elbows. So we're circling them, and I'm rolling them forward. And as you're doing this, notice the shoulder blades moving on the back body. Bring awareness to how this is feeling in your body. And 2 more times with the circles in this direction. And then we're going to pause and then take it in the other direction. Nice and big. Go at a pace that feels right for you. And let's do 1 more and then let that go. Let's bring the arms out in front of us. And I want you to take those hands and you're pressing out. We did this the other day. So start to notice this coming up through the forearms and the triceps. And then we're going to start to turn the palms into ourselves. We make a fist and we bring it in. We've got resistance coming here. So we're getting into the biceps. Press out with resistance and then pull in, coming back. So we're working the arms, taking it out and then back in. Let's do it out and back in. Last time, taking it out and then back in. Nice. Release the hands down to the thighs and let's do the rainbow stretch. So I want you to take the feet a little bit wider than usual. So maybe out to closer to the corners of your chair. You're sitting up nice and tall. Right hand comes over to the left knee. We're going to start to inhale and bring that arm up. Let the gaze follow the fingertips and you're taking it back behind and reaching it down towards the back of the chair. Then bringing it back up and floating it all the way back over to the left knee. We're going to do that a couple more times. Inhale, lengthen up, reach up tall, and then dropping it back behind. You're exhaling now. Finding your next inhale, bring that back up all the way, nice, and dropping it down. So we're getting into that side body, lengthening up and getting a nice big stretch, and then bringing it back over. Let's take that arm back up and back behind. And then when you bring it up this time, we're not going to come all the way over to the knee. We're going to start to reach out through the fingertips. So you're coming at a diagonal, you're reaching out. Maybe the gaze is down at the floor and you feel this through the right back body. And then let's release that right hand to right thigh. Nice. And just notice the difference between the side bodies now. Left hand comes over to the right thigh. Let's inhale, lengthen it up, taking it up, and then back behind. Bring that arm back up, and then dropping it over towards the right knee. Let's do that again, taking it up and back. Bringing it up and down to the knee. And then 1 more time, taking it up and down. And then when you come up this time, we're not going to come all the way to the knee. We're going to reach out through the fingertips. Gaze is down, lengthen through the back of the neck. Press that left hip down. You should feel this. It should feel delicious. Nice. And then let's release. Great. Coming into our cat and cow. We're going to take the hands to our kneecaps and let's start to bring our heart forward. Send the shoulders down the back. You're coming into your cow. You should feel that arch in the back. And on your exhale, start to round the back body. Drop the chin to chest. Navel reaches for the back spine, for the back of the chair. And inhale, coming into your cow. Exhaling into your cat. So I want you to do 3 more at your own pace. So if you're like, gosh, Lisa, I'm just going to stay in cow because that feels wonderful, or maybe cat, go ahead and do that. Remember, this is your practice. You make it what is right for you today. Your body might be saying, I can just hang out in cow, and that's good. Or you might be saying, cow, are you kidding? It's cat. And finishing up with your last one. Let's come up to a nice tall seat. Feet stay exactly where they're at. Shoulders slide down the back. Let's bring the hands in towards the middle of the thigh. And with the exhale, we're going to start to bow forward a little bit. So you're bringing your heart towards the floor. You're lengthening out, and then you're pausing here. Let's start to tuck through that pelvis. Feel that stretch in that low back. Breathe. Core is working here now. You should feel this in the middle of your abdominal area. Nice. Breathe. That Ujjayi breath. And then start to soften and roll over to that right hip. Let's get into that stir the pot and taking it all the way over to the other side, rolling through those sit bones and coming forward. And then let everything else be soft. You're moving through the shoulders and the head is flowing. Arms are moving with the elbows bending. Nothing is held tight and you're just in this moment. Just be with your body as you move through this. One more circle in this direction. And then when you finish out this circle, we're going to come all the way to the top and we're going to pause again. And then find that long neck, find that core engaging, breathe. And then let's start to go over to the other side and just taking it in a big circle. And this feels so good. Nice and easy. And let's do one more circle. Coming all the way around and then coming up to the top. And then pausing here. Finding that length in the back body. So you're bending through the hips. You're not bending through the waist. We're going to start to come down just a little bit farther. So heart starts to move towards that floor. Notice what's happening in that low back. Breathe. And then let's engage and press into the feet and lengthen all the way back up. Nice, coming all the way up. Bring those feet a little bit closer together. We're going to start to work our quads a little bit. I'm going to take my pillow away now so I can have a nice firm connection here. So I want your feet parallel and toes are facing forward, so don't have them off to the sides. We're sitting up nice and tall. Start to press into the feet. So you're pressing all the way into the feet and you're starting to feel the engagement through your legs. Nice. And then release and soften. And then let's tighten up again. So finding those quads engaging. And then maybe you're noticing the lower core, the lower abdominals are engaging too. And then release. Nice. Let's go ahead and take our arms by our sides. We're going to start to press into the feet. We're engaging. Nice. Maybe coming forward just a little bit. And then release. Nice. Taking those arms now as we engage through those quads and lifting the arms out. Pressing into the feet and then releasing. Arms come down. We let that go in our legs. Let's do that a couple more times. Engaging through the legs, through the low core, arms come out in front, and then dropping it down. Nice. And let's do that one more time. Nice and easy. You guys are like, this is so great. It's not hard, nice and easy. And then letting it go. And then we're going to take that right elbow and we're going to bring it up to the left knee. So come in and then let it go. And we're going to take the left elbow to the right knee and letting it go. So we're starting to get into that core a little bit, working the legs. We're alternating, going back and forth. Nice and easy. And let's get the left side and the right side. Last time on this side, and then last time on the opposite side. Nice, cool, easy. We're going to turn sideways in the chair. I'm turning over to the right and I'm dropping my left knee down. So we're letting that left thigh drop down, get a nice little stretch. My right hand is on the back of the chair and I'm facing sideways. You're nice and tall. Breathe. And then let's go ahead, pressing into maybe the top of the foot or into the toes on the left foot. We're going to take maybe one arm or both arms, and you're going to start to lengthen up through the arms and bringing them overhead. And then lean back a little bit. So you're coming into crescent moon. So it's seated crescent moon. You're letting the heart lift up a little bit. Palms are turned in towards each other. Shoulders are soft. Breathe. And then let's release the arms down, bringing them all the way down. Right hand comes to the back of the chair. And let's take that left hand by our side body. We're going to turn that palm out and we're going to start to lift it up and taking it over to the right. We're stretching through the right side body. This should feel good. You're letting that stretch come down all through the left side. And then let's release, coming up all the way. And then let's turn in our chair, coming all the way over to the other side. So I'm dropping my right knee down. I have my toes curled, or you just might have the top of the foot down. We're letting that right thigh drop down, get a nice little stretch. We're sitting up nice and tall. And with the inhale, we're going to lift one or maybe both arms up overhead, coming into that crescent moon on this side. Let the palms be turned towards each other. Heart lifts. So you've got a little bit of a back bend happening here. Breathe. So you should feel the torso here, the strength of the spine. Your muscles are engaged. Breathe. And then let's release the arms down, nice and slow. And then taking left hand to the back of the chair, right arm is by your side. Turn the palm up and then sweep it over towards the back of the chair and stretch out the right side of the body. Nice. Big and beautiful here with that side body stretch. And then releasing, letting that arm come by our side. And then let's turn back, center in the chair, and go ahead and give me a little swivel. So letting that leg drop down and then open up. So getting into the hip a little bit of a windshield wiper here. Nice. And then let's pause. We're gonna sit back in the chair and we're gonna work on our feet. So I'm gonna come sideways so that my feet are right out in front of you. And we're gonna go ahead and point and flex. So go ahead and give me a point and a flex, point and flex. This should feel good as you're going back and forth. And then let's change it up. We're gonna pause and turn the feet in towards each other. And then we're gonna turn them out. Turning the feet back in and out. Working those ankles back in and out. One more time in, one more time out. Nice. Drop the feet down and then let's lift up just the right foot. Start to circle that right ankle in one direction. So working the quad again on the right leg. You're nice and tall, you're not slouched. You've got that beautiful spine, and then pause, take the circle in the other direction. Oh, I know, my quad's talking too. And then drop that down. Ooh. All right, left leg comes out. It's a turn. And start to circle that foot in one direction. And then pause and take it in the other direction. Oh my goodness. And then drop that down. Ho, 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 ho. Go ahead and give me that little swivel again. Give some sweetness to those legs. They deserve it. That was tough stuff. All right. Let's come back up into a nice seat. We're going to find our strong seated mountain. So once more, feet are planted in front of you. They're parallel. You're pressing into the feet, and then you're feeling the engagement through the legs and coming up through the core. So you're nice and tall. Create some space in the spine. Shoulders rolling down the back. Chin tucks in. Just breathe that Ujjayi breath. And I want you to step your feet a little wider now. Give yourself a little bit of a space. Arms come by your sides. Let's do our seated sun salutations. Palms turn out and we inhale up, lengthen up, nice and big, beautiful. Cactus those arms, bring yourself forward, nice. And then let the hands come down to the knees and forward fold. Inhale into that cobra. So heart comes forward, shoulders roll down the back. Exhale, hands slide down the front of the shins. Left hand comes to the floor, to the block, and you sweep the right arm up. Right arm comes down, and then you're gonna sweep the left arm up. Coming into that twist, left hand comes down. Let's take the hands to the outside of the feet, reverse swan dive. So the core is engaged, you bring those arms up nice and big, palms together at heart center. Nice, let's do that 2 more times. Palms come by our sides, we sweep up, we lengthen. We bend the elbows, we've got the cactus here. Then releasing those hands down to the knees, slide them down, forward fold. Inhale, cobra, heart is lifted. Exhale all the way down. Right hand to the floor this time, left arm up. Left hand comes down, and then we take the right arm up. Right hand comes down, hands to the outside of the feet, reverse swan dive, engage through the feet, through the core, palms together to heart center. And one last time, arms by our sides, we sweep up tall. Then cactus the arms, forward fold, letting the hands come down to the knees, dropping all the way down and inhaling into cobra, beautiful cobra. Exhale all the way down. Left hand to the floor, sweep that right arm up. Right hand comes down, sweep the left arm up. Left hand comes down, take the hands out to the outside of the feet, reverse swan dive all the way up, palms together to heart center. Nice. Lengthen the back of the neck, and then bring those feet in a little bit closer. With the exhale, start to lean forward. You've got that flat back, you're coming out of the hips. And we're gonna start to turn over to the right, and we're gonna take that left elbow to the right thigh. You're gonna let the right elbow lift up towards the sky. Bring the heart towards the palms. Prayer twist. Breathe. And let's start to release, coming out of this, pausing in the middle. And then we're going to twist over to the other side. So take that right elbow to the outside of that left thigh. Left elbow lifts. You lift the heart towards the palms. And breathe. Use that Ujjayi breath. Let it help you through the asana, through the pose. Keeps you focused. And then let's come back to center. Press into the feet, engage the core, and let's sit up nice and tall. And take those arms up one last time and let them reach down towards the side. Ah, nice. All right, you guys ready to stand up? We're gonna do the chair lift off. We're to 6 now. We're marching back up to 10. So finding where you want your arms. Crisscross is the most challenging. You can have them out straight, or maybe you have them down by your sides, whatever's right for you. Your feet are in front of you, they're facing forward, and we're gonna start to come into our feet for 1, and then down. And then 2, and down. 3, and down. 4, and down. 5, here we go, 5. And here's the big last one. Here we come. 6, 6, 6, 6, 6. Yay! Nice. All right. Let's come to the back of our chairs. You guys know this. It's mountain. Find your mountain. Find your tall, strong mountain. So you're rooting down through those feet. You're rooting down so you can lift up through the crown of the head. Let the shoulders be soft. And then bring the hands to the chair if they're not there. And let's start to sway from side to side. I'm getting this little sway thing here today. So left to right, a little sway. And then let's start to come from the toes to the heels. So moving forward and backward. Just feeling the foot. One more time. And then pausing. Find yourself lengthening up through the crown of the head once more. Lift those toes up, spread them as far apart as you can, and then drop them down. Nice. Breathe. And we'll start to come into our down dog. So I'm going to move my chair. You guys just move your legs back, walk your legs back. Start to take the hips back, bend those knees if you need to have that flat back. So a flat back might mean your knees are bent really big, or maybe they're just a little, or maybe not at all. Let's breathe. Let's take a nice big inhale in here, and then let it go out of an open mouth. Do that 2 more times. Big inhale in, and then sigh it out. And 1 last time. Nice and big. And let it go. And then let's start to bend one knee and then the other. So you're starting to pedal through the feet. That back body says, oh, this is so good. I'm glad it's my turn to get up and move. So going back and forth. And then let's pause. Take the toes over to the left, heels to the right. Bend into that right knee and give that outside left leg some sweet attention. Your gaze is down at the mat. Your arms are nice and long. And you're breathing. And let's press in through the feet, lengthen up. Take the toes all the way over to the right. Heels are to the left, and we're going to get the other side. Bend into that left knee, and that right side gets its turn. And maybe you're noticing you're tighter on one side than the other. Just a little information for you, something for you to be aware about. Or maybe you're not tighter than one side. Maybe you're just loosey-goosey. And then let's start to come out of that. Bring the toes center. Nice. Breathe. We're going to start to come into that up dog. So we're going to start to roll forward to the ball of our feet. Bring the hips closer towards the chair. Heart lifts up. And then taking it back into your down dog. So do that 2 more times at your own pace. Coming in to your up dog. And then rolling back into your down dog. You might be going faster or slower than me. As I've told you before, the chair that I have is not the best for up dog, so I don't like to do it too long. So I'm not going to hang out there. So I'm just going to hang out more in down dog. Breathe. Once you finish out and you're in down dog, we're going to take that right leg and we're going to start to take it behind us. So you have the foot flex as you lift it up behind. We're coming into 3-legged down dog. We usually don't do this, but as I said, we're working on strength today. And then point that right toe, breathe. Oh my gosh. And we're going to hold. And then let's start to bring that foot back down. Oh, goodness. Bend those knees. Take a little movement. Find a little release. Then lengthen through those legs. You're in down dog. Hips move back. Your thighs are pressing towards that wall behind. And then start to shift the weight into the right foot. Take that left foot back behind. Foot is flexed first as you lift it behind. And then start to point the toes. Notice what happens through those leg muscles when you start to point the toes. Gaze is down at the floor. Your neck is nice and long and you're breathing. A beautiful ujjayi breath. I can tell you I'm starting to warm up. Just standing here with this hold. And then let's start to bring that foot back down. Oh, give me a little shift from left foot to right foot. And then let's look up at the back of the chair and walk our feet up to the back of the chair. Oh, goodness. All right, how are we doing? Yay, we have lots of time. All right, so let's go ahead and come into a strong warrior two pose. So I'm gonna turn so that I have my right hand on the chair. So this is easier for you guys to see me. If you want your chair in front of you, you can have it in front of you. We're taking a wide distance between our feet, and I'm gonna have my toes, my right toes, facing towards my chair. So they're turned away. And then my left toes are facing forward, and then I'm gonna angle them in just a little bit. The heel of my right foot is in line with the arch of my left foot. Hips are level, so you don't wanna have hips over to the side or just kind of out there. Nice and level. We're gonna start to bend into the right knee, and you're bringing that right knee over the right ankle. So if you need to adjust the feet to have that, go ahead and do that. That right knee is pressing back. You should start to feel this, the engagement through the feet coming up through the legs. We're tucking through our pelvis. And we're gonna take those arms out. Maybe one arm is on the chair and just one arm is coming out. You're letting the fingertips reach. Shoulders are rolling down the back. Take the gaze over the right shoulder. Maybe you're looking out over the right middle fingers, or maybe that hand is down on the chair. Breathe. This is a beautiful strengthening pose. Heart is lifted, shoulders are soft. And we're gonna just stay here for a little bit longer than we usually do because we're strengthening today. Stay firm in those feet and breathe. And if the arms start to get tired, you can release them down. One more breath, then start to press into that right foot and lengthen the right arm up. Left arm drops behind. We're coming into sky archer. And if you need to keep a hand on the chair, keep a hand on the chair, reaching up through the fingertips. Feel this through the right side body. Breathe. And then let's bring the arms back out to that T. So your legs are straight. That left hip is pressing back. So your hips are neutral and straight. You don't have one hip higher than the other. Reach forward through the right fingertips. So you find that your hips start to shift a little bit. You've got a little hinge there. And then drop that right hand down to the chair and start to lift the left arm up as you come into triangle. So you're bending a little deeper through that hip. Gaze can be up toward the fingertips, or maybe it's straight out, whatever feels right for you. Breathe. And if you have the space, if you have the ability to take that hand and drop it down to the shin, you can, but only if that's available to you. I'm gonna keep my hand on my chair. Nice and strong here. Breathing through that ujjayi breath to hold you through the pose. And if you need to, you can always come out. Let's stay here another 2 breaths. And then on your next inhale, you're gonna press into the feet and bring that left hand to left hip. Right toes turn forward so the feet are parallel. And take those arms back behind, interlace those fingers, and take the shoulders and roll them down the back. And then with the exhale, start to bow forward. We're hinging at the hips once more, and we're coming down into a wide forward fold as we lift the arms up. So feel this through the biceps, through the chest, soften through the kneecaps, and let the gaze come between the legs if you're coming into a deep forward fold. Breathe. And then let's start to engage through the feet, engage through the core. You're lifting back up. Nice. Release those hands. Wow. And then let's go ahead and heel toe the feet back together. So work the bottom of the feet. Shake that out. And let's get the other side. So I'm going to take my chair and move it over here. So we're going to come into warrior two on this other side. We're going to take the left toes and have them facing out to the side. Right toes face forward and then come in on a slight angle. Hips are level, so you don't want them off, hinged up. Keep them squared. Then we're going to start to bend into that left knee, right? Keeping that knee over the ankle. And if you need to adjust the stance and widen it, go right ahead and do that. Tuck through that pelvis, heart is lifted. You take the gaze over the left shoulder, and maybe the arms come out and you reach out through the fingertips, or maybe you're just using one arm. Maybe one hand is on the chair. But then just come into the pose. Soften the gaze over that left shoulder. You're breathing in nice and steady. You feel the feet connected to that earth. And you're letting yourself build up from there. Coming up through the torso, find that strength, find the space. As you lengthen through that spine, crown of head reaches up, shoulders are soft. Breathe. And if you need to, you can always come out of this, take a break. Let's do 2 more breaths. On your next inhale, straighten through that left leg, drop the right hand down, left arm reaches up to the sky, sky archer. Breathe. This should feel so good on that left side. And then start to come out of that. We're setting up for triangle. So taking the arms out nice and wide, our hips are level. So if you find one hip is up a little bit, bring it down. That right hip is pressing back, left hip comes forward. Reach out through the left fingertips. So you're reaching, and then drop the left hand to the chair and bring that right arm up. We're coming up into triangle. So you're reaching through the right fingertips. Breathe and find the best place for your gaze. And maybe you come into a deeper triangle because it's open to you, or maybe not. We haven't done triangle in a while, so you might be saying, ha, 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 that's nutty. Breathe. And then with the inhale, press into the feet. Let's come up nice and slow. Right hand comes to the right hip, and then turn the left toes in. Oh, left hand comes to the left hip, and then just start to circle the hips. Nice and easy in one direction. It's like that stir the pot motion. And then let's pause and take it in the other direction. Nice. Then start to work the feet back towards each other. So heel toeing them back together. And then I want you to take the hands to the back of the body. So your low back, fingertips are pressing down, just like this. Your elbows start to come together and you start to lift the gaze. So we're coming into a camel, it's a back bend. Nice. Press into the feet, lift up through the heart. So you're letting the stretch come through that upper chest, and then let it go. Oh, give me a little wiggle. All right, let's do a little bit with our balance. Let's come into a nice tree because that uses strength, and it's a beautiful pose always. So I'm going to start with the shift over to the left foot. So finding however is best for you. Nice and tall. Take the weight, shift it over to the left foot. Start to take that right knee and bend it and turn it out to the side. Bring that right foot alongside the ankle or maybe the shin. Right hand to heart center. If you're feeling balanced today, maybe the other hand joins it. Finding yourself lengthening up. I can see the top of my head's not showing. Breathe. Maybe it's in your practice to have both arms extend up towards the sky. Find your drishti point, that focal point that you can put your gaze on that's not moving. And just come inward with this beautiful pose. It's just you and the breath as you root down through that left foot, finding yourself growing tall and strong like a tree. And then bringing palms back towards heart center, slowly. And then releasing that right foot down, go ahead and make that shift. Nice. And let's get ready for the other side. So we're gonna start to come into mountain, nice and tall first. Find yourself rooting through both feet. And then once you have that, shift the weight over to the right foot. Left foot comes up, we bend at the knee and we take that knee out. So your hip is opening up, left hand to heart center. Find your focal point to rest the gaze. Maybe the other hand joins at heart center. You're tall, long, you're creating space in the body as you root through that right foot and left up through the crown of the head. Maybe arms also start to come up, fingertips reaching up towards the sky. Shoulders are soft down the back. Breathe. Finding your tree. Letting that right foot be rooted. And then slowly, palms come back together at heart center, or maybe just one. And then release that down. Oh, take a bend, take a shift. Finding that little movement that gives you some release. And then let's come back to the chair. So we're gonna sit down in that beautiful chair of ours. All that hard work. Oh. And before we pause, I want you just to take a cat, round that back body. So we did that big camel. I just want to come in and do that, and then sitting up nice and tall. So take a moment to close the eyes and to check in with the body and the breath. Notice how you're feeling. Notice the flow of the breath. Is it slow and steady? Maybe it's beating a little bit faster in the lungs, coming in a little bit more quickly because of the work we just did. Just come back to it. Slow it down if you need to with intention. And breathing in and out. Let's open the eyes and come into our hands now and start to roll those wrists. They're probably like, when is it going to be my turn? We did the feet, they got all the love. Switch that rotation, nice and easy. And then let's bring the thumb in towards the palm, wrap the fingers around it, and then take those palms up and down. So getting into the wrist a little bit more, just up and down. And then left to right. Nice. And then let's go ahead and take those arms, press them out once more, and then left fingers gently pull right fingers back. And then drop those right fingers down and press on the back of that hand. And shoulders are not up by your ears. And then let's take left fingers, point them up towards the sky. Right fingers gently pull them back. And then we're going to let the fingers drop down towards the earth, press on the back of that palm. Nice. And then let's go ahead and bend the elbows. We're going to start to work a little bit with the fingers, the fingers, not the hands. I want you to take your thumb and you're going to bring your thumb towards the base of your pinky. Let's just do one hand at a time and then taking it up. So bringing it back down and back up. So working through that thumb a little bit. And then I want you to take the thumb to the pinky fingertip and open it up. And then thumb to ring fingertip and open up. Middle finger and then index finger. And then just give me an open close. Let's do the right hand or the opposite hand. So take the thumb to the base of the pinky and open it up. 2 more times to the base of the pinky and back. 1 more time and open. Then thumb to pinky fingertip, open it up. Thumb to ring finger, open up. Middle finger and then index finger. And then open and close. And then I want you to take your thumbs and start to swivel the thumbs. So we're just taking them and circling them around. And then we're going to get into those index fingers next. It's kind of fun. And then we're going to work the middle finger, just circling it around. And then ring finger. This is tricky. And then pinky, and that is just crazy. That is like terrible, terrible ring fingers. All right, bring the fingertips together. You're going to start to press into the fingertips as you let the palms open up. So we're getting into the tendons. Just press into those fingertips. Nice big stretch here. And then soften and release. Interlace those fingers. Take the palms, press them away from you. Drop the chin towards chest. You're getting into that upper back area. So we're stretching it round the back a little bit more. Chin really reaches for the chest. And then with the inhale, let's lift the arms up overhead. Nice and big. Turn those arms in towards each other. And then let's release the hands back behind you. So you're going to grab onto the chair and you're going to lift the heart up nice and big. Oh, okay. And then let that go. So time is marching by and I'm not liking that. We're going to do core before I let you go because it's important if we're doing strength. We're going to do a little differently than we usually do. I want you to crisscross here. And if you find crisscrossing is too difficult, then you take your arms out. So I am sitting a little bit kind of in the middle of the chair. We're going to start to take our body back. So we're leaning back and can you feel that in the core? And then you're coming all the way back up. So we're not leaning forward like we usually do. We're coming back. And then coming up. Nice. We're going to do that 4 more times. Ladies, let's go back. Whoa, 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 whoa. And then coming forward. And then let's go back. Yikes. And then forward. I think we got 2 more here. Coming back. And forward. And then back. Whoa. And then up. Nice. Release that. Take that cat now round that back body. Oh, that feels good. And then sitting up nice and tall. We're going to take that right leg, that sweet right leg. We're going to bring it up. We're going to go ahead and bend that knee, bring it up towards the chest, bring forehead down towards that knee, round that back body, then lift the heart up and let's come into pigeon. So bring that ankle to wherever's best for you. Maybe it's on the left thigh or maybe it's crisscrossing the ankles. Hands are on the shin. We're sitting up nice and tall. When you exhale, you start to hinge forward, you're bowing forward, you bring the gaze down towards the floor. And by goodness, make sure that that left ankle is under the left knee as you let the right knee drop down and breathe into that right hip and soften through the shoulders. Beautiful. This is so good. And is your right foot flexed by any chance? If it's not, go ahead and give it a little flex. And if you do that, you're going to start to notice the muscles moving in the calf. Breathe. With the inhale, start to lengthen up nice and slow, coming up. And then with the exhale, twist over to the right. So coming into that twist, we're still working with that right hip. Gaze is soft over that right shoulder. And as you're breathing, as you inhale, you're lengthening up. And as you exhale, find that little softness. With your next exhale, release. Let's come back to center and take that right leg, let it come down. Oh, nice. Left knee, we're gonna start to bring that left knee up to the chest, hands are on the shin. You're tall, and then with the exhale, let's bring that forehead down towards that knee, round that back body a little bit, and then inhale, lengthen up. Let's take that left ankle over the right thigh, or maybe crisscross at the ankles, flex through that left foot. You're sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, let's bow forward. Gaze comes down towards the floor, and you're making sure that that right foot is right underneath that right knee, that ankle. Ah, soften. Breath is beautiful. And as we're here, let that breath come slow and deep into that left hip. Let that breath work its magic, creating space in the body, calm in the mind. With the inhale, you start to lengthen up. So you're engaging the core to do this. Let that core lengthen you up. And then finding your exhale, let's twist over to the left, taking right hand to the outside of that left thigh, shoulders drop down, gaze comes over that left shoulder, breathe. And then let's release, coming back through center. Take that foot away. And I want you to start to sit back in the chair, letting yourself get comfortable, finding yourself in Shavasana. Start to soften through the face and the jaw. And let that softness slowly flow through the body, coming through the neck and the shoulders, through the heart center, the abdominal region, into the hips, and the thighs, down over the knees and shins and calves to the feet, arms are heavy by your sides, and palms maybe turned up on the thighs as your breath returns to its normal, natural pattern. You just slowly breathe in and out, letting the breath flow over you and through you, rinsing away any tension that might remain, leaving you in peace and ease. With your next breath, start to come back to the present moment. And start to find those small movements that gently awaken the body. Taking the fingers and spreading them out wide and giving a little wiggle. And letting the movement come into the toes and the feet. Maybe the wrists, taking the legs and arms out and rolling and rotating through joints. Maybe a big, beautiful stretch. And letting it all go. And finding any other movements that would feel good for you. Maybe another cat. Maybe the head moving from side to side. And then finding your way to a nice tall seat. Bringing palms together at the third eye. Letting the eyes be closed or soft. Thumbs gently resting against the brow. And ask for strength. Strength to think kind and generous words, words that are uplifting to others. Moving our hands to our mouths. Ask for strength. Strength to speak kind and generous words, words that are uplifting to others. Bringing our hands to our hearts. Ask for strength. Strength to act in kind and generous ways, ways that lift others up and make a difference in the world. Namaste.